Today, we are going to be direct sowing our root crops, so things like carrots and parsnips, as well as some of our leafy greens and some cool season herbs, as well as a plant that's roots is supposedly a substitute for coffee. I'll share with you how I set up my raised beds, as well as some. Really? I'll also share with you how I set up and amend the soil in my raised beds, as well as my containers to set these crops up for success. Also share tips to help you overcome, if not prevent, common challenges that gardeners face with these crops. That way your garden is set up to thrive well into spring. Let's go. This is where I have my peanuts planted. And quite frankly, come spring when it warms up, this will probably be another peanut bed because as you can see, there was no way to get all the peanuts. And so there are inevitably peanuts buried in the soil, which is fine. This is where I have a eggplant, which looks really sad right now, but actually I'm just going to cut it near the base. And because our winters don't get crazy, crazy cold, this will come back in spring. So I'm going to leave that there, just cut it at the base. And then here I have my humongous char plant, one of my two humongous char plants that continues to multiply. And I try to cut it back, but with leafy greens, the more you cut and prune, the faster and more vigorous it grows. So I might just leave it like that. And then I have some dill here that has a case of powdery mildew because it's been so humid and warm over the past few weeks. So I will likely just pull that up all together and maybe direct sow some new seeds there. And I'm also going to be extending the drip line. So as you can see, it's really only 3 rows, which isn't enough. It doesn't water everything really well in this bed. So I'm actually just gonna extend this line and kind of do like a loop like that so that it more evenly waters this bed. If we come on this side by my sad eggplant plant, which is already starting to grow leaves back, we have some spinach here and some strawberry plants that look really, really good. And so I'm going to be leaving these be. As I mentioned in my video last week, one of the biggest challenges you'll face with things like lettuce and spinach is something called bolting. Bolting is a process in which plants flower and go to seed prematurely, and this alters the taste of the plants, making it bitter, and then also the texture, making it a lot tougher, where it's almost inedible. You can't 100% prevent a plant from going to seed outside of pulling it up because it's a natural part of their reproductive life cycle and it's how they prevent themselves from going extinct. You can do some things to delay this process. One of the most common triggers for bolting is heat stress. Consider planting bolt-prone plants in an area that's going to receive shade during the hottest part of the day. You can also be strategic in planting some of these plants under the canopy of taller plants like tomatoes and eggplant. This is going to create sort of a microclimate and it's going to keep these plants cooler throughout the day and provide some shade. You can also plant slow bolting varieties of plants. This typically means they are more heat tolerant. Another thing you can do is to succession plant, and this is just a process in which you stagger the time in which you plant your plants, and this will extend your growing season. I personally do a combination of all these things. And it's just something you can technically start indoors. However, it is sensitive to transplanting, its roots are. And so if you are going to start indoors, you want to make sure you transplant with caution. Make sure that the roots don't get root bound because that will stress out the plants and potentially stunt its growth and even kill the plant. And so that's why I just prefer to direct sow. So if you have that option, I highly recommend direct sowing your spinach. I do highlight all this in my spring planting guide, which I'll link below. I go through the best methods in which to plant over 50 crops, as well as the time in which to plant the crops based on where you live. So again, I'll link that below. next we're going to plant carrots, and I find that carrots is one of those crops that a lot of beginner gardeners struggle with. However, it's actually one of the easiest, no nonsense, no fuss crops that you can grow in your garden. However, it is a crop that you always want to direct sow. There aren't many crops where I'm like, you have to do it this way. You kind of can do like create your own story. But carrots is definitely one you always want to direct sow. It has a very sensitive taproot, and if you try to transplant it and disturb it in the slightest, it will stunt your plant. You'll have like really piddly like mini carrots. Also imperative that carrots are planted in a loose, well draining soil. If you've ever seen those carrots that you have one part of it going this way, the other one going the other way, that's likely because as the carrots grew, they came across some obstacle in the soil, and rather than like pushing through, they just run around it. So all that aside, one of the most common challenges that gardeners face with growing carrots is just getting them to germinate. Carrot seeds are notoriously finicky, and they are known for taking quite a bit of time to germinate, upwards of 2+ weeks. However, one of the most important components to ensure successful germination is making sure that your seeds remain moist. Now, there are a few techniques you can help the seeds along with retaining moisture. One of the most popular things people will do is that they will actually cover the seeds with something like plywood or towel or some type of plastic piece just to help retain that moisture. However, the problem with that is you have to remove it once the seeds germinate. And me, based on my past experience, I will forget to come out and check periodically, and I'll just suffocate the seeds to death. So if you do that, just know you will have to remove the wood once you start to see, or whatever you cover the plants up with, once you start to see some germination happening. So what I prefer to do is I will actually sow the seeds and top them off with vermiculite. Now, vermiculite is a natural material, and what it does is it retains moisture. It's the opposite of perlite. A lot of people will use perlite and vermiculite interchangeably. While they do have a lot of the same kind of benefits in terms of like aerating, helping aerate the soil, helping with drainage, vermiculite retains moisture, whereas perlite wicks moisture away. And so the good thing about vermiculite is not only does it help retain moisture, it also lets light pass through. So you put it on and you don't have to remove it. And so that is something I prefer. I do with sowing all my carrots, and I've had great success with it. And so one of the things I really focus on is that every season I plant something I've never tried before. And so one of those plants for this season is going to be chicory coffee chicory. I got these at my local nursery, and supposedly the roots are a substitute for coffee. And so I had never heard of this plant before, so decided to pick some up. I have 2 here. I read up on them, and they're supposed to be really cold hardy. So no doubt they were powered through our very mild winter, and so we'll see how they hold up as temperatures rise through spring and into summer. But yeah, chicory, coffee, chicory. For my containers, I always add a high quality potting mix and then amend with a bit of compost and a well-balanced organic fertilizer. So this potting soil was really dry. It was hydrophobic, meaning it resists water. So instead of planting my seeds in the hydrophobic extra dry soil. I'm gonna make sure that the soil is moistened first. It'll just make it a lot easier. For this raised bed, I'm just going to be filling in some of the areas that are a bit sparse with some parsnip seeds. Throughout this process, I collected a lot of garden debris, and I hate for anything to go to waste. And so I will typically make this into liquid fertilizer by putting them in these bins that I have throughout my garden that I have filled up with rainwater and then just add it to it. Over time, it breaks down and is a wonderful fertilizer for your plants. You will hear people say that this stuff stinks, and it does initially, and it gets worse before it gets better. But over time, it really mellows out. This bin here was probably over a year old. I have been filling it with weeds over the season, and it did not knock me in the face with this smell. Either way, your plants don't have noses. I don't know why he's like this, Ruben. Literally like a baby. Like a baby. He's not a dog, he's a baby. This was a productive day, y'all. I probably got 10 things done on my to-do list, so check and check. Direct sowing seeds is hands down my favorite way to start seeds because it is the easiest, it is the cheapest, and most just like carefree compared to planting transplants. However, sometimes planting transplants, whether that's from starts you got from the nursery or from seeds you started indoors, is optimal. However, a lot of you all have expressed that you all really have trouble starting seeds indoors. And so I'm so excited to announce that I am in the process of creating a multi-part seed starting masterclass series. I don't know what the name is going to be, but in essence, I will be sharing with you all step by step how to successfully start seeds indoors and share everything from my seed starting recipe, my setup, grow lights, how I water, how I fertilize, hardening off, what that is, why it's important, and take you all from the day we start seeds all the way up into planting. However, in the meantime, if you're still struggling to figure out what to direct sow, what to plant indoors, when to plant it, make sure you check out my spring planting guide, which I've linked below. You a baby. You not a dog. You a baby. You a baby. But until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And remember, every black thumb ripens to green, and it all just starts with a seed.